Tanahashi, I want to dive into the Israel-Palestine section of the book. It's the largest section of the book.
So I highly encourage everyone to go back and watch that interview because it is a masterclass by Ta-Nehisi Coates. He shows us very clearly on how to control the narrative when you are being interviewed by someone who does not seek to have a genuine conversation with you. But the reason why I have this image up is not to compare the topics, but to compare the images and what those images are intended to tell us, the audience that are watching the content for the first time. If you go back and watch that interview, you see Tony, the interviewer from CBS, who is being flanked by two Black journalists. And as he is trying to dig into the perspective of Ta-Nehisi Coates and get him to justify his views, and he thinks he is going to minimize or demonize or create a narrative that Ta-Nehisi Coates actually is not that educated on the topic. He picked the wrong one. Now, in this situation, I'm not even going to address shits and giggles. I want to talk about how Andrew Schulz and many white men like him like to surround themselves with people of color to give themselves justification for attacking and demonizing people of color in their jokes as a form of entertainment. And we see this dynamic play out in media all the time. And I'm no longer blaming, right, the Andrew Schulz or the Tonys of the world. I am blaming the minorities who allow themselves to be put in positions where they are used as props for people like Andrew Schulz and for Tony. Because your presence allows him to legitimize or try to legitimize his viewpoints, because he can always say, well, I'm not racist. I have Black friends. I have an Indian friend. And I'm sorry, that response is not going to fly anymore. And yes, I am of the mind that you as a minority, as a person of color, have a responsibility, a duty to not sit there and allow that kind of interaction to happen without stepping up and saying something, or at the very least, removing your presence that gives legitimacy to those conversations.